It does increase with a significant number of users. Hence, in 2023, a lot of changes were made to control future expenditure. But when it comes to service costs and the sentiments of old car owners, how do you plan to balance it in the future? Looking at our past, in fact, one thing that sets us apart from other companies is that our old users' travel expenses are still low.
For instance, if you look at our financial data, the expenditure on non-cars related items in our report is a considerable loss. Many people say we have built excessive swap stations. You can understand it this way. The loss from the construction of our swap stations are actually acceptable. That is, the loss from our infrastructure investment is also acceptable, and they are all fixed.
When we actually build more swap stations, our free battery swap travel expenses become higher.
For example, a place that didn't originally have a battery swap station might not have offered free battery swap. So naturally, our costs would have been less.
If there is a swap station, for example, if there are 100 users in this place, and if these 100 users have free battery swap, then our expenses will increase. I want to clarify something here. It's not the money from the battery swap station itself. In fact, it's the electricity fee. Electricity is a fairly large expense. In fact, our annual expenditure on electricity is very large, so everyone thinks it's not great. But it's very simple. What we have promised will definitely be fulfilled. So those who have free battery swap will continue to have it.
Unless our company no longer exists. This is both a question of a commercial contractual relationship and a question of commitment as a user enterprise.
But regarding new services, we obviously need to consider more about balancing the relationship between service experience and cost. What is the difference?
As increasingly more users join us, if we lose 1,000 yuan for one user, we may lose around 500 million yuan for 500,000 users per year.
This is how it is. Initially, when the number of users was small, things were good. Now that we have a greater number of users, it's different. For instance, we've adjusted our excellent service recently, and it definitely needed adjusting.
According to us, excellent service has always meant having to readjust what we charge for our service packages every year. It's not like those warranties we pledged before, those things that go with the car.
The excellent service is priced annually. There are already many unreasonable aspects about this excellent service.
Initially, it was all the same asking price countrywide and was unreasonable.
So, my users from Taiwan, your premium is naturally lower than, say, users in Shanghai or Shenzhen.
So you might end up paying more, which originally wouldn't be fair. Moreover, from a holistic perspective, it has resulted in a significant push loss for us. Initially, when the service was excellent, we said it might be okay, as the service base was small. Now that I have a large user pool, continuing this way will be troublesome, so I definitely have to make adjustments. These adjustments will be more decisive, although some users might be unhappy at times, but users can understand. I visited Ningbo some time ago because in Ningbo the service is excellent. If you consider the price increase, it's the place with the most price increase.
Because insurance premiums in Ningbo are high, the average premium in Ningbo is more than 9,000, just under 10,000.
Its premium has increased a lot. Initially, if you purchased excellent service, it only cost a little over 1,000 yuan, less than 2,000 yuan. That is the non-premium part. But now it has increased a little, so in fact everyone can understand. So what did I always want to say? Just a few points.
The first is that we NIO will definitely fulfill what we have promised. The second is that great service does not mean it doesn't cost money.
In fact, the main thing is that it's worth it, to make everyone feel like it's worth it.
Being worry-free is not the same as free.
The third thing is that in general, we still have to ensure sustainability. That is, if the entire company isn't sustainable, it would actually be the biggest blow to everyone's interests. I think everyone can understand this. The last point is that we're still very confident in our future services. You will make all kinds of evaluations, but in the end, we're still the best in the industry. There is no doubt about it. We're still confident about this.
That's right, guys. NIO is taking lots of different measures to boost profitability. So just to quickly recap and explain what he said. So they used to have a set price for the worry-free insurance package, which included insurance and service together. However, this was a big loss leader for NIO because certain cities actually had higher insurance fees. but NIO's one fee covers everything. So in certain cities, NIO would be earning money. In certain cities, NIO would not be earning money. So this whole entire package used to be really worth it for people in big cities like Beijing, Shanghai, etc. But in smaller cities, it would not be worth it for NIO owners to go for that. So now they've split it up where you pay for insurance for however much it costs at your city, and then you have a separate fee just for the service. So they're able to make things a lot more precise and tuned for profitability. Now, some other things that they're really doing is some of the stores. For example, this store behind me is one of the flagship NIO houses that they have here in Beijing. So they have about 5 of them here in Beijing. But recently, they've actually closed one of these smaller stores. And that store was actually a little bit redundant because there was a nearby store. So a lot of the sales reps in that store got moved to another store. And they're doing lots of different cost-cutting measures to boost profitability. On top of that, they've really shifted their strategy more online. And other freebies have been significantly reduced, like free NIO points, or free drinks, or free gifts. They have been all significantly reduced to help boost profitability. However, from what you've heard the CEO say out of his own mouth, the free battery swaps that a lot of the early NIO owners have, like me, were still incurring a huge loss because of them. Okay, or us, me, I have free battery swap. I don't abuse it. I swap like once a week, but there are some NIO owners that swap like crazy. So that is still a very big cost for these guys, for NIO. And so they've stopped promising free lifetime battery swap, but they're still giving out free swap vouchers as an incentive. And because of the competitiveness of the EV market, it's so competitive, they're essentially forced to give this out. But this is more of an incentive and not a freebie. Okay, going forward, of course, NIO will eventually get profitable. If they pause all their R&D expenses and stop building out swap stations, they can get profitable right away. But they're not going to do that. They're going to keep on building swap stations, expanding their moat or infrastructure, and become even bigger company. So just think of it the other way. And NIO has so much cash on their balance sheet. So right now the stock price is just completely unreasonable. A huge bargain if you ask me. So yeah, absolutely worth it. They're making great moves to boost profitability. Do not sleep on this, guys.